This is something that's woken me up. This fight scares you, plays in my mind at night. It's hard to sleep. I had two options: run away or say, you will not.
All the strength work that they've asked of me, I haven't said that anything's too much and I can't do it. I've always given my best in the gym. And in terms of the power, you're gonna have to tune in December 19th on Netflix to see if this right hand still carries the power that it did at 250 pounds. You got some big balls, and I've got to give him respect for taking this fight. Ready.
Jake Paul looked visibly unsettled after watching clips of Anthony Joshua dominating the pads in training. Joshua's speed, strength, and controlled intensity weren't just for show, they demonstrated what a focused, serious heavyweight can do in the gym. He moved quickly, hit hard, and attacked the pads with a ruthless precision, sending a clear message to anyone stepping into the ring with him. Paul, who has built his boxing career by picking fights carefully and avoiding unnecessary risk, couldn't ignore what he saw. He openly admitted that, so far, this is the most dangerous opponent he has ever faced.
High risk, but guess what? It's very high reward. If he pulls this out, he is unequivocally the owner of boxing. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, it was an honor to be invited to America, to come and perform in front of some amazing people, the Miami crowd, the international crowd. So I just said it's got to be done. They want to see some big punches thrown and some knockouts, and we're going to deliver. Jake Paul, he got some big balls, and I've got to give him respect for taking this fight because I'm fucking ready.
Does he understand there's a lot of risk? Yes. Does he know Anthony Joshua can put him to sleep? Absolutely. But he has this sense of belief, this sense of clarity that it's his time.
I think at the end of the day, I'm a kid with a big heart that wants to change the world, disruptor. And I never took no for an answer, and I'm just chasing my dreams, having fun. And
at the open workout before his big fight with Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua looked every bit the experienced heavyweight, landing strong punches on the pads with sharp footwork and a composed intensity that reminded fans of his time at the top of the division. The British fighter spoke with clear confidence about his strategy, telling reporters he doesn't view this match as a sideshow. He emphasized that he is treating it like any other professional fight and plans to bring his full strength and aggression when they finally face off in the ring in Miami. Interview 3. Paul made it clear he isn't entering this
Niggas saw me on the landing off you, what I'm doing, kid. Like I told Cabot, what call it that? Just let me know how much I match this. I got mouth to feed, I wouldn't dare let them famish. I'm aware of my palate, ain't fair what shit happens. That's why I was still rapping, same time I did rapping. Cause no one ain't happy like a batting. Put my young boys on a track shift. 4 weeks later, they stopped then snitch. All of them parties that my hands stood feed. Instead of gratitude, love my soul. Oh, do day parties that I don't go raving.
Paul made it clear he isn't entering this fight just to show up. He is focused, confident, and genuinely believes he can beat Anthony Joshua. He has repeatedly said he seeks the biggest and toughest challenges in boxing, and this fight fits that goal perfectly. While most expect Joshua to win, Paul insists he is ready to defy expectations and pull off one of the sport's most shocking upsets.
Hard work, and every single day dedicating yourself to a craft, pushing through when you don't want to be there, and it all pays off in the long run. And believing in yourself, setting goals that people think are impossible. That's really what my story is all about, and that I hope to inspire kids at home. I set these goals, everyone laughs at them, and then I'm the one laughing in the end. Yeah, one of us is going to sleep. That's what we're going to do here. That's what this heavyweight fight's all about.
There you go, Miami! Live, make some noise!
During press events and media interviews, Paul explained that his strategy is to use movement, speed, and smart discipline to challenge the former heavyweight champion. He believes he can avoid Joshua's power and gradually wear him down over the course of 8 rounds.
There was some questioning whether you actually meant that. Do you feel that you've earned some credibility amongst boxing purists now?
I'm not even sure who the boxing purists are. Like, where are they? You know, like, who are these people that we talk about, and how pure are they? They can't be that pure. They go to church every day. I don't know, brother.
Do you feel like you've earned some respect from those fans who watch?
I don't know. Because I don't know who they are or where they are.
They don't exist.
Like, it's like this peanut gallery that doesn't exist. Oh, Jake's not good. Jake's not good for boxing. Like, bro, where are these people? I don't see them on Twitter anymore. It's dead.
Well, a lot of people do analyse your boxing skills. In terms of your opinion, what do you think the biggest improvement you've made as a fighter over the last 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like footwork, defense, having the experience on the fight night, staying calm, jab, combinations, body work, countering, feint.
Paul's mindset is extremely intense. He stated he is ready to give everything in the ring, even risk his life, to win. This shows just how serious, focused, and mentally prepared he is as the fight approaches. He has made it clear he isn't stepping into this bout merely to compete with Anthony Joshua. He is fully committed to knocking him out and creating what he calls the biggest upset in sports history. Entering as a heavy underdog against the former two-time heavyweight champion, Paul expressed strong confidence that he can pull off a shocking victory. He added that one of them will put the other to sleep, and he is ready to take his chance. Joshua, on the other hand, has spoken about Paul's boxing skills with a mix of respect and confidence in his own experience. He acknowledged that Paul has trained seriously and made real progress despite starting the sport in an unusual way. Joshua sees a fighter dedicated to mastering boxing, not just a celebrity chasing attention, and he credits Paul's commitment to training for the fight's massive hype. However, Joshua emphasized that his years of top-level competition give him a major advantage, and he plans to use that experience to control the fight and wear Paul down both mentally and physically when they finally meet in the ring.
Age, right? Because he fights opponents that aren't your traditional boxing opponents you'd face at the point of his career. When you look at him and his ability, can you rank him compared to the guys that you have fought in your career, and where would he rank?
The start of my career. Yeah, he'll be someone that I would have fought early on in my career. Yeah, I've got a lot of experience now. But yeah, someone at the start of my career, I'd say. But I don't know who to say exactly. But maybe someone at the start of my career.
Anthony, Charlotte Daly from Daily Mail.
Hello.
I was actually talking to Eddie Hearn recently about this matchup with Jake Paul, and he was saying about the Daniel Dubois defeat, and that potentially it was more painful than people may have anticipated or imagined. Is taking a fight with Jake Paul trying to find that fun again and that enjoyment again in boxing?
Boxing is not such a fun sport.
Across the boxing world, many experts have questioned the credibility, safety, and long-term impact of this fight. While some acknowledge that it makes good business sense, very few see it as a serious or legitimate sporting contest. Interview 7.
Anthony Joshua, as much as he's a monster, he's got a weak mind, hasn't he? So Jake could end up getting into it because Jake's got everyone eating out the palm of his hand. He's a very clever man. So
you really think he's got a chance?
Why wouldn't he have a chance? Look how confident he is. I mean, come on. Like, Anthony would have all the pressure in the world, and if Anthony didn't do him with the first few punches, he'd start doubting himself in his head, because that's what he does. But no, Anthony should win, shouldn't he? But
what do you make of Tyson Fury saying that he's going to put $1 million bet on Jake winning by knockout?
Tyson to leg it, lad. He's retired about 50 times. What's he on about, mate? Just tell him to leg it, and I love him. If he walked in here, I'd obviously...
At one point, you were good friends.
I'm still good friends, but obviously if he walked in here, I'd act like I'm not talking about him, but then on the camera I'm talking, you know? Is this not what we're on?
Fair enough.
Is everyone not fake, or no? We all... What are we on here? Are we all acting like we don't hate each other? Like, come on. Like, what?
You're on absolute smoke today.
Some acknowledge that it makes good business sense. Very few see it as a serious or legitimate sporting contest. Interview 7. Former champion Carl Froch has suggested that fighting Paul could harm AJ's reputation, hinting it might keep him from reaching Hall of Fame-level greatness. At the same time, Joshua has emphasized that his long-term health matters most, saying his legacy would be leaving the sport healthy. In a recent press conference, he responded to critics who claimed the fight could damage his legacy. In his usual calm manner, Joshua dismissed the negativity, saying he doesn't waste energy on those voices. His attention remains on the fans and supporters who believe in him, not on detractors. He acknowledged that some purists may see the matchup as unusual, but made it clear he isn't afraid to take a big opportunity, both to entertain and challenge himself, without worrying about what others think of the fight's legitimacy.
Because if this is going to be his last fight, fighting this clown show, I mean, it's not ideal, is it? It's no ideal way to go out, but people would argue, well, he's just taking the money and running. So you can't really argue with that. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. I had to get my opinion out there because I know you've all been waiting for it. It's a shame, really. I'd like to see Anthony Joshua, actually, even though I don't believe he can do it. But when Eddie Hearn tells us that AJ is going to become a 3-time world champ, it'd be nice to see the rebuilding process and get back behind him. 1 or 2 easy fights and then go for a world title. And this could be one of the 2 easy fights. But I just think if you're going to jump in with fake Paul at this level, which is like I say, arguably a massive mismatch, it's no way to step towards or climb a ladder to get towards that world title. So this, for me, tells me that Anthony Joshua knows he's finished at any sort of elite level or world level. He won't be trying to go down the world title level anymore. This is just a cash out. So good luck to him. Fair play to him, but hopefully when he's finished this fight, he'll be honest with us and say, listen, I've milked it, I've creamed it, I've had an unbelievable touch at the end of my career. I mean, he's already had an outrageous touch, hasn't he, with the involvement of Saudi Arabia, and now he's just creaming it at the end. He's got fake Paul, which is massive. Great for AJ, fair play to him. Anybody would do the same at the end of the career he's had. You know, he's not an elite heavyweight, is he? He's never going to come back.
Former British boxer Amir Khan issued a serious warning about the risks Jake Paul faces against Anthony Joshua, saying the fight is more than just challenging, it could be physically dangerous. Khan highlighted Joshua's size, strength, and elite experience as major advantages, noting that a single clean, heavy punch from Joshua could be intimidating, especially for Paul, who has never faced that level of power. He emphasized that it only takes one punch, one mistake, or one solid hit to seriously injure a fighter or even change their life, showing genuine concern about Paul's ability to handle Joshua's strength.
Joshua sparked him out in like 2 rounds. Really? No, why do you look surprised when I don't.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro. You're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's going to get hurt badly, and this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on there. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
When you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat stars there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou. So,
and that's why you don't look. You can't be surprised if AJ is going to do the same to what's it called again?
AJ is involved, and I think AJ would struggle to. He's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an all-win situation. If he goes in there and Jake Paul lasts the distance, what does he tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what does he say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul to say, right, I've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got us to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can play football, golf, tennis.
Paul's promoter Nikisa Badarian has addressed concerns about the size difference between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua ahead of their heavyweight clash. Badarian noted that Paul typically weighs in the low 200s, while Joshua has traditionally been closer to standard heavyweight size, but said the team remains confident. He explained that Paul has adapted to fighting at heavyweight and isn't intimidated by the challenge, arguing that his experience and rapid development in the ring make the matchup viable despite the size gap. Badarian highlighted that Paul has successfully carried extra weight in past fights and competed above his natural cruiserweight division, proving he can handle bigger opponents. His confidence stems from Paul's improved technique, increased strength, and the team's belief that his adaptability and progress offset what might otherwise seem like a significant physical disadvantage.
It's been a phenomenal ride, and a lot of it is due to him.
In terms of his fighting record, it's a good one, isn't it? He's just beaten a former world champion. He's now being talked about as an opponent for Anthony Joshua. Can that fight happen?
I think the fight can absolutely happen. I'm looking at it as Jake versus Joshua, which is quite biblical and it's quite impactful in many ways. If you look at Anthony Joshua, I think he is 28-4, if I'm not mistaken, and 2 of his losses are against Alexander Usyk. Usyk weighed in at 220 pounds for those fights. Jake is not Usyk, a lot more years of experience needed to get to that level, but Jake walks around between 208 and 210, and he fought Mike Tyson at 228 pounds. So I think size-wise, we can get comfortable with it, and I think experience-wise, Jake is learning very fast and growing, and Joshua is a little long in the tooth. So it could be a very interesting matchup, and we're actively discussing.
Hey, James, quickly, I watched Jake Paul the weekend. I feel a bit dirty saying that because I'm not a fan of his, but he did say after the fight that he's sort of having DMs or he's dropping text messages to AJ. They're having a chat about a potential fight. What's your view on that, Eddie?
Well, look, he's calling out Gervonta Davis, who is a 135-pound lightweight, and he's calling out Anthony Joshua, that's a heavyweight monster. I think Jake Paul is crazy enough to fight Anthony Joshua because the money would be absolutely obscene. It's a catastrophic mismatch that people would tune in to watch because it would lead to the end of Jake Paul. Hopefully not literally, but it's that dangerous that, you know, it's a fight that I don't think should really happen, if I'm honest. I would say about Jake Paul, and I've said this in a couple of interviews today, I do think you start after giving him a margin of respect. You know, I think this guy is going through the motions, he's putting the hard spars in. He just went 10 rounds with, yes, a washed up fighter, but a former world champion that did train for that fight. But they're very clever in terms of the opponents that they pick. They're not going to gamble unless the money's out of control. And it wouldn't surprise me if Jake Paul, wanted to move forward with an Anthony Joshua fight. Honestly, AJ's coming tonight. He's not exactly looking at Jake Paul going, oh, that's my dream opponent. Would he go in there and give him a hiding for, you know, a massive chunk of money? Probably. I'd be saying, yeah, go on. I'd like to see it.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but, you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh, well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But, as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world...
Promoter Eddie Hearn described Jake Paul's decision to fight Anthony Joshua as almost wild. Not impossible, but extremely risky given the real dangers and huge payday. He called the matchup a potentially catastrophic mismatch, warning that putting the relatively inexperienced Paul against a world-class heavyweight like Joshua carries serious physical and career risks. Hearn emphasized that while the money makes the fight hard to turn down, the competitive reality is clear. Joshua's power, size, and experience could easily overwhelm Paul, potentially ending his career, either figuratively or literally, if things go wrong. Will Paul pull off one of the biggest upsets in sports history, or will Joshua's experience and power dominate the ring? Share your prediction below.